Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to talk about our 5 whiskeys from Indiana.
Top 5.
Our top 5.
Whiskeys from Indiana.
Top 5.
So this is with Bourbon Van kind of sent out kind of a challenge to everybody if they could pick all their favorite whiskeys from each state or bourbons for Kentucky. And, I guess you could have picked whiskeys.
Yeah, you could.
So he lives in Kentucky. I live in Indiana. So, of course, we're going to make one of each just to have fun with it.
Yeah, just have fun with it for sure.
And where we struggled to just to pick 5. And we kind of cheated with that video where we picked like 5 distilleries.
Yeah.
And kind of picked our favorites from there. It's much harder in Indiana.
It really is.
Because you could just make everything MGP. Like at the end of the day, you could look around and try to make everything MGP. And, maybe you kind of get away with it. Maybe you don't. Like, I don't know.
But we didn't want to do that.
No, we didn't. So and there's a lot of other great distilleries in Indiana that make a lot of great whiskey that's not coming from MGP. So.
Yeah. So first up on the list.
First one we're going to talk about is Barrel Proof from Cardinal Spirits. Now, this is actually talking about MGP. This is actually 5-year-old MGP. And I kind of went back and forth on if I want to do it or not. But I was like, man, it's just so good. It's just 5-year-old MGP.
It's good.
It's really good. It's like $50. You can get a really good single barrel of it from time to time. And for as much as what we pay out the walls do for MGP, it seems like, for this being 5 years old at Barrel Proof, and it's like 120 proof, I think.
Yeah, it's
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
So, and Cardinal Spirits are based out of Bloomington, Indiana, I believe. So,
yeah,
there you go.
It was good.
Yeah,
yeah. I just had some for the first time before we shot this video. So it's good stuff. All right. Number 2 on our list is Spirits of French Lick. Mm-hmm. This is truth be told, the master distiller, he's a
mad scientist. Alan Bishop, he's a mad scientist. How he does stuff.
So, like, this one's 55% corn, 35% rye, 10%.
Which one is this again?
Victory. This is the Maddie Gladden.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, that's a story all in itself.
That wild lady.
Listen, she's been linked to P.T. Barnum, circus chick.
We're not judging.
Yeah, we're not judging. But anyway, this is an interesting bottle, to say the least.
Well, it has an interesting mash bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the 55% corn, the 35% rye, and then there's this 10%. I don't even know what Victory malt is. I don't know if that's the malt you get at the end of winning a race. I'm not sure.
From what we were reading, it's where Alan basically takes like 2 yeast strains together and then turns into that and does some crazy stuff. Again, they do a lot of crazy stuff. Some people, Dave and I kind of talked about this. It's not going to be for everybody, and I understand that.
Definitely not going to be for everybody.
But they make their own stuff. They experiment a lot. They do a lot of cool,
and I will tip my hat to anybody, especially craft distilleries, who are using their own stuff, because a lot of craft distilleries, when they're first starting up, when they're just a few years in, their go-to is, let's just get the MGP. We know what it is. It's solid, and we will blend it and do the things that we have to do to make it ours. But at the end of the day, that's what it is.
All right. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite small distilleries, Starlight.
Yeah.
So I was actually looking around. I wanted to get one of their finished bottles to show, because I think Starlight does some of the best finishing barrels of anything out there, period. I
feel like 90% of what they put out is some sort of finished product.
There's a lot of it out there. I do agree. There's, at least in our area, there is. I've had a really awesome honey finish.
Yeah.
That cigar blend I loved. I know you weren't the biggest fan of it. I
wasn't the biggest fan of it.
But their Christmas rye they did a couple of years ago was really, really good as well. They just, to me, they do have some younger stuff, and Starlight is a beautiful distillery.
Beautiful, for sure.
And I just think if you're in Indiana, like, their winery is like top notch, one of the best wineries, if not the best winery in Indiana.
Yeah.
And just, it's all right next door. It's really, really
And
nice.
they do, they know how to host people, and so that's that's part of it too. Like, I've done their tour. They did a great tour. It was a short tour at the time, because it was like right after they started doing their own ryes and bourbons and stuff like that. But they do really good work. So
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. The fourth one on our list is Hard Truth, and if you saw our last video, that we
Not yet.
We haven't done it. We have reviewed this, but
yeah,
it isn't it.
Spoiler alert! I love it.
Here's the deal: Hard Truth. It's another one of those places like Starlight. They are a great distillery. They have a great campus, like what I would say is an awesome campus for what they have. And so like they do lots of really, really good stuff there.
Sure.
They have beers, they have other spirits and stuff. They have an awesome restaurant. Much I think they probably took their method after like Starlight, because they do that kind of stuff really, really well. You know, and the liquid inside this sweet mash rye is honestly, it's really good.
It's incredible. It's one of my favorite new bottles of the year so far. I know we're so young into the year. I never had it until this year, and
I hadn't either.
It's honestly, it's phenomenal. The bottle looks great, the packaging looks great, cork, everything they've done with it just works, and the stuff inside the bottle is the best part of it. It's amazing. So
it's good stuff. Yeah.
All right, last one, and we can't do an Indiana list without putting the big dog.
Without our man.
We can't.
You can't.
Without MGP, you can't. You just can't. You cannot talk about Indiana whiskey without talking about MGP.
Yeah.
One of the biggest. I mean, I don't know who is the biggest. I don't know how much they make a year. I don't know. If somebody would like to put down in the comments below, I imagine they're really high up there. Also, while you're down there in the comments, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button.
Yeah, do your thing.
But Remus Repeal Reserve, it was one of our, what was it, like our fourth or fifth bottle last year? Like it crushes, it holds up, it's amazing. MGP does some amazing things, and they, people source from them and stuff like that. And it's so good. Like whenever people talk about obviously Kentucky's like the king because they make the bourbon and stuff like that. And then, you always hear a lot of people talk about like Tennessee and whatever. But like Indiana right there with them. Indiana in the sense of, and I know a lot of it's going to be MGP. I get it. But MGP crushes it. And I know we're saying MGP. It's like Ross and Squibb now or something, or whatever. Squibb and Ross, or whatever Squid and Patrick. I don't know, whatever it is. So, I get it. Yeah. Still MGP does.
It's still MGP. So, whatever it is. So, yeah, this stuff is so good.
Very incredible.
Sure. All right, well,
but that was our top 5.
If you are from Indiana and you think that we missed some place that we should have put on this list, please tell us, because we're always wanting to discover new distilleries.
And even if you're not from Indiana, please let us know.
Yeah, and you've tasted Indiana distilleries, whatever. Let us know for sure. All right, well, till the next time.
We'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see you.